Hello everybody, and welcome to a Modern Horizons draft here on the channel. Today I am going to be doing my first ever Modern Horizons draft, but before I dive in, I do want to remind you, if you enjoy this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get updates whenever I post new content. I truly appreciate it. And also, if you do want to have any questions, be sure to leave those in the comments. And if you want to support me further, be sure to check out my Patreon channel to help the channel growing and thriving. So without further ado, let's get into the pack. And we have a spicy rare. Astral Drift is going to be awesome. There's not a ton of cycling in this set, but this card definitely has some potential. At the common slot, I mean, I've never drafted this set before, so I'm just looking really fast here. Blade Black Sliver could potentially be good. Make a 2/2 creature with changeling. That seems really good. Slim Gang. Make 2 1/1, so we have 3 creatures. I did listen to the limited resources thing and the Lords of Limited thing about this set, but I think I'm just going to start off with a Trumpeting Herd. I don't think there's enough cycling for Astral Drift to be good. And Trumpeting Herd seems great to me. 4 mana, make a 3/3, and then it has Rebound, it makes another 3/3. Birthing Boughs just seems a little bit slow to me, and Trumpeting Herd seems quite good. And we follow that up with a Hex Drinker. This card also seems quite good. I don't know what card people would take. Also, this is a Phantom League, so card values are not super relevant here. But Hex Drinker seems quite good. 1 mana, 2/1's already solid, and then you could keep leveling it up, and it just becomes scary. So if you can level it up 8 times, you win. Llanowar Tribe, kind of hard to cast, so not a card I'm really going to prioritize here, but kind of sweet. Green, green, green. Nice. I'm definitely going to be looking at the card. Squirrel Nest seems powerful. Crows and Tusker also seems powerful. I just think Hex Drinker's got to be the pick here, though. It just gives you a huge mana sink. You can just pour mana into this whenever you have extra lying around, and I'm already in green. And Squirrel Nest, Crows and Tusker are also good. The Changeling Outcast could be have a home in the ninjutsu decks because it's a ninja, and that's also kind of neat. And then Pyrophobia is a nice red removal spell. We're just going to take Hex Drinker here. It just seems pretty strong to me. Next up in this pack, let's just make sure all these cards are big as we can make them. Conifer Worm, let's see. Number of snow permanents. So I'm not going to really try to go all in on snow permanents. I don't think that it's going to be necessarily super easy to get them, and I don't want to like commit to something and have it not work out. Marasa Behemoth is going to be a huge creature, so that could potentially be a pick, but I'm not like super stuck on just staying in only green here. This card has a lot of potential. Valiant Changeling. If you can just get one other Changeling, this comes into play on turn like 2 or something, so that's pretty powerful. First Fear Gargantua can be a decent amount of value. What's Excavating Energy? Sacrifice the land to draw a card. That doesn't seem great to me. Doesn't seem great either. This card seems okay, though. I think I'm going to take the Valiant Changeling, because if I can get some white Changelings, then Valiant Changeling, even if you cast it later on in the game, just has a lot of upside. Talisman of Conviction, also decent ramp, so that could also be the pick, but I think we're just going to take the Valiant Changeling and then try to get some Changelings going. Azure Smoke Shaper is also fine as a ninjutsu card. And King of the Pride also rewards picking up some Changelings. Mother Bear, though, seems incredible to me. Every time someone talked about this card, they read the card, and I was just like, wait, what the heck? So what this card does is it's a 2 mana 2/2, which you need to have 2 drops unlimited. And then when it dies, you can exile it to make 2 more 2/2s for 5 mana, which is already pretty solid. Like, that's just great. Irregular Cohort's also one of the better white cards in the set. Lords of Limited actually had this as the number 1 white common. I think this card is also very powerful. Like, make 2 2/2s and they're Changelings, so they like work for Valiant Changeling. Definitely some powerful stuff there. They work with the King of the Pride. There's also Lonely Sandbar. We're just going to actually just take Tranquil Thicket. Tranquil Thicket is so good. Uncommon Land. Even though Mother Bear is good, this set is very high power level in general, and getting a Cycling Land is really good for your deck. So we're just going to take the Tranquil Thicket. Cycling Lands are very, very powerful. I am sad that we don't have the Mother Bear, but, you know, you miss out on a Mother Bear, but you get the Tranquil Thicket. It's going to be very good in my deck. And now there is an Irregular Cohort. I think we're going to take this one. Rhyme Tempter could be okay if you get enough snow permanents. I don't really like going all in on the snow permanents, though. I don't, especially not my first draft before I see how they perform. This card could be okay, but I think we're just going to stick with the Irregular Cohort. We know that's going to be pretty solid, and I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. It's a nice little synergy there. We kind of have a nice little go wide theme. Both our 4-drops make some, I'm going to make these bigger so you can read them if you don't know what the cards do. I don't really know what all the cards do yet either. I'm just trying to make these as big as possible. So yeah. But yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I'm definitely happy to be drafting Modern Horizons. And what is in this pack? There is a Birthing Boughs, which is a card that I'm not like super sold on. I'm actually going to make sure I don't cover my clock so I can actually make sure I make a pick. That's why I had it there. Recruit the Worthy is an interesting one. It seems a bit slow, but it is instant. So for 4 mana, you can start to just churn out 1/1s. I think it's going to be better than Nimble Mongoose at least, because Threshold's like kind of hard to enable, and so in the early game this card's like not super great. Making all my slivers have Outlast is okay, especially because irregular cohorts will count as slivers, and so with the Valiant Changeling, so all of those cards having Outlast is pretty cute. Outlast only as a sorcery though. I think we're just going to take the Recruit the Worthy, get access to that. Though I'm just going to Audible here, take the Enduring Sliver. I did Audible there. I think the other one's just very slow. You only will ever want one copy of it, and we can maybe pick up a copy of it later. But Enduring Sliver, the fact that it works with our regular cohort, and it's just another 2-drop, we just want to make sure we get some early plays. But a regular cohort and Valiant Changeling. Valiant Changeling also works really well with +1/+1 counters, because it is so sweet, because it has double strike. So Answered Prayers is an option here. Knight of Old Banana. What does this do? I actually kind of like this in my deck. I have a decent number of cards to make multiple creatures. What's Tribute Mage? Yeah, we're not going to get that. Let's just take the Knight of Old Benalia here. Suspend is a pretty powerful mechanic. And now we'll just start. Wow, this is a late Trumpeting Herd. This card is incredible. I first picked it, and I didn't even regret first picking it. So we're just going to take this. And now Stirring Address will be pretty good in this type of deck. We're just going to take the solid creature makers first. Let's start picking converted mana cost now. We have a Cycling Land. We've got a Hex Drinker. We've got a pretty good 2-drop that works with our cohort and our Changeling. This card can be a 1-drop a lot of the time too. Trustworthy Scout. So it's like a 2-drop that can sometimes get more value. I think we're just going to take the Tornado. The fact that it has cycling means that you can even name deck it potentially if you're light on removal, and could be a nice little card to have access to. That was our first pack, so we did wheel a pretty decent green card. I'm really liking the way this deck is looking, though. I'm glad we took this Tranquil Thicket. Even though Mother Bear is powerful, you want to make sure that you have ways to not get flooded, and this card is pretty strong. Stirring Address is exactly what we want. Triple green is just too hard to cast in most limited decks, unless you're mono green, which we are not going to be. Stirring Address just seems great to me. What's this do? Yeah, let's just take this card. It's going to be great. I don't know what Smoke Shroud does exactly. Yeah, I think Stirring Address is just going to be great in this deck. We have 1, 2, 3 cards that all make multiple creatures, so having a way to pump our entire team with this card seems powerful. Fountain of Ichor. We don't really need that ramp. Let's just take a snow-covered plains over a Smoke Shaper. Maybe the plains comes in useful. You never know. Pretty low downside there. And now we get another Knight of Old Benalia. I'm really liking the way this deck is coming together. We do have some synergy, like if we get the irregular cohort, Knight of New Benalia, but I think getting another Knight is just too good to pass up. And now we can get another Thornado. Why is it Thornado instead of Tornado? Oh, because it's thorns. Let's just take the Thornado. And a Nimble Mongoose. Slots into the sideboard, and a Goblin Champion was our last card. Okie doke. Now in this pack, let's see what we're working with. King of the Pride kind of comes to mind, but we don't have all that many changes. We only have the irregular cohort and the Valiant Changeling. Plainbound Accomplice. Yeah, that's not really a card for us. Answered Prayer is not insane. We don't really have enough slivers for that to work. Martyr's Soul. We have some stuff that could work with this. We have a decent amount of creatures. Universal Automaton is a changeling that could enable the Valiant Changeling. So I could definitely see that being a pick that we would want to make, though I don't really want to prioritize it over something like a Crozan Tusker, which is just like nice to draw you a card, ramp you a little bit, get you some value. If we do want to splash something, that is something to consider as well. So I think Crozan Tusker is going to be my pick out of this pack. And then after that, I think I would probably take the Martyr's Soul and then the Universal Automaton and then King of the Pride. But we're just going to take the Crozan Tusker here. I could definitely see that being incorrect later on in the format, and that the 1-mana card just ends up being more important. And here, this is a pretty clear irregular cohort. I think Bellowing Elk is not a card that I'm a huge fan of. 4-mana 4/2 is just not a good enough body, I don't think. We already have a Stirring Address. We would probably wheel this one because we wheeled the last one. What's this do? Yeah, this doesn't seem good in my deck. But yeah, irregular cohort is going to be quite nice. What other cards are here? No creature control. Wow, this is a weird card. Kind of cool in an enters the battlefield deck, but I'm not a huge fan of it regardless. Nature's Chant could be a good card to get for the sideboard. Yeah, now we have my little sideboard slot over here. We'll zoom up these cards so you can see them, and then we'll move them. over here. Then we'll move this thing back. Oh, it all works out so perfectly. Perfect. But we're just going to take the irregular cohort here. More changelings, more 4-drops. Having a little bit of ramp is nice there. Winding Way. Choose creature land, reveal the top 4, put all cards. Okay. Well, I think we're here. We just want to get another Valiant Changeling. We have 2 changelings at 4. Even casting this for 2 mana on turn 5 is pretty good. Because you can cast that alongside another card. I'm not a huge fan of the wall. And now I really wish we had that other guy. Frostwalla. Maybe if we had some no stuff later, we would want a card like that. Scarecrow. Interesting. But I think we just want the Valiant Changeling. We have a couple of regular cohorts. And now Knight of the Pride actually seems pretty decent in our deck. King of the Pride, I mean. Because we do have 2 irregular changelings and 2 Valiant Changelings. So Knight of the Pride actually seems pretty decent. And we're lacking 3-drops. And we don't really have a ton of cats. But, you know, we can maybe get a cat. I don't know if there are any cats in the set. But Ingenious Infiltrator is a broken card, though. We don't have any ninjas. And we're not blue-black. So we're not going to take this, obviously. But it is a broken card. Talisman of Conviction is also kind of interesting here. Maybe we'd want to ramp to get to our 4-drops a little bit sooner. I think we just want the Knight of the Pride, though. Just pumps up our stuff. It's just like a decent-ish body, and it pumps up our guys. And we have 4 changelings, and this makes 2 changeling bodies. So what does this do? Ooh. This card's sweet. It works really well with the irregular cohorts. Not so kind of with the Knight of Medallias. Not so much with these. Huh. I could see Settle Beyond Reality being the pick here. What's Elvish Fury? Target creature gets +2/+2. That's a decent combat trick. Don't really think we want Bellowing Elk. What's this do? We can consider splashes now because of our Crows and Tusker, which is another upside of the pick. So I think it's between Stirring Address and Settle Beyond Reality. And since we don't really have any removal, I'm kind of leaning towards the Settle. But at the same time, I think we're really just a go-wide deck, and so this card's going to be great. Let's just take the removal spell, though. We still do need to have access to some removal. And there is a Stirring Address right here, so we're rewarded for our pick. I think this card's going to be better than the Elvish Fury. Just the fact that we can give our entire team +2/+2 is so good, especially because we have multiple cards that make multiple creatures. And another irregular cohort. Pretty nice. Or, we don't want that. Or we could take a Universal Automaton. We don't need a 3rd Stirring Address. A regular cohort seems great to me. But I could see Universal Automaton being a pickup. I think we can pick up a Universal Automaton later. We're going to probably wheel the one that we took if we're seeing one right here. And a regular cohort just seems really good for this type of deck, especially with the King of the Pride that we have. I don't think we need to prioritize getting Valiant Changeling into play on turn 2 or whatever. Answered Prayer seems alright as well. We have a ton of creatures, and this dodges like removal spells, so I'm fine picking up an Answered Prayers here. I kind of wish I'd taken one of those talismans to get an irregular cohort out early, but we'll just try to curve out a little bit. Let's just put our lands in the sideboard right now to free up some space here. So King of the Pride came back. Whoa. So the Changeling for 1 mana didn't come back, but the King of the Pride, which is even better in our deck, came back. So we're going to take the King of the Pride here. We now have 5 Changelings. This makes 2 Changelings each. And we have another King of the Pride that it also works with, so that's pretty excellent. Martyr Soul is okay, but not as good as King of the Pride is going to be in this deck. And now another Stirring Address. So we now have 3 Stirring Addresses. A Settle Beyond Reality. So these are like non-creatures. A couple Thornados, which we probably won't need to prioritize. Farmstead Gleamer. Cave of Temptation. Add 1 mana of any color, but it does cost a mana to do. Let's just take the Farmstead Gleamer. Maybe we'll need a creature. I'll put these lands back in the deck. There's no reason not to run the Snow-Covered Plains. Ooh, we did get a Talisman. I think that's going to be better than giving ourselves Shroud, which doesn't really do much. And the Talisman can actually ramp up some nice 4-drops. Getting a regular cohort out a turn early, which means an earlier Valiant Changeling. I'm liking the look of that. Ooh, another Stirring Address. So many Stirring Addresses. Nobody's in this archetype. We are wide open and in the clear, folks. I guess we'll take this one in case we need more. What? No. Oh, I got the Lands with Liver. Perfect. Okay, and the... Oh my goodness, looks like an on-color rare. Ho-ho! Creatures we get +1/+1. We have so many creatures. Yes! Oh man, we did it, boys. We did it. This pack is great. It's got a Tranquil Thicket. It's got a Shelter. It's got a Martyr Soul. All these cards are quite good, but we're just definitely slamming the Force of Virtue. Oh my goodness. Wow. We have a ton of 4-drops, so I'm really happy we have this talisman, so we can cast them a turn early. But giving all of our creatures +1/+1 just seems excellent, especially because it's got flash. Oh my goodness. Martyr Soul, probably not the greatest in our deck. There's also a snow-covered forest, but we're not really going deep on snow. I think the next pick out of this pack for me is honestly Tranquil Thicket. It's just so good. So I think I go Force of Virtue, Tranquil Thicket, and then Shelter, and then the Martyr. But slamming this Force of Virtue, this is great in our deck. I don't think we'll need these Tornadoes right now. And we have several things to play on turn 1. We do need to fill out the early part of our curve a little bit. I guess Lancer Sliver is a 3-drop. So yeah, we'll just take this one. Force of Virtue. Ooh, this is another one that's kind of sweet. Scale Up. It makes all of our creatures into 6/4s. If this was a making all our creatures 6/4s is pretty nice. Savage Swipe is interesting too. If its power is 2, we have a ton of 2-powered creatures. This card is perfect for our deck. So I convert a mana cost. So yeah, that seems excellent. Scale Up is kind of good. Like, it's a good card, but the problem with Scale Up is we already have so many copies of Stirring Address that does a kind of similar thing, because we're turning a 2/2 into a 4/4 versus a 6/4, and this card's worse on its own because it's not like a combat trick. So I think we'll just take a Savage Swipe, because Savage Swipe works so well with a lot of our creatures. If its power is 2, it works with so many of our creatures. Ooh, another Tranquil Thicket. Perfect. I think Tranquil Thicket is definitely better than a Scale Beyond Reality. What does this do? Oh, man. Rock's Veteran is so good. But we're just going to take Tranquil Thicket. Look at how many playables we have. We have so many playables that upgrading our mana base a slight amount with this Tranquil Thicket is so good. Wait. Maybe we just have to take the Saddled Rhyme Stag. What the heck? This card is busted. This card just gets... It's like a 2/2 that attacks for 4. Maybe I do have to take that. We already have one Tranquil Thicket. Let's just take the Rhyme Stag. We do need more 2-drops. Yeah. The Rhyme Stag seems good. Oh, yes! Good Fortune Unicorn! This is the day for us. We are in the most open colors. This is such a good card. Oh my goodness. Put a counter on the creature. There's another Crozen Tusker, but we're just slamming Good Fortune Unicorn. We just play that into a regular cohort or Trumpeting Herd. Oh man, we're going to dominate. This deck is disgustingly powerful. Ooh, what's Lesser Manticore? Use 1 damage to target creature, so it can like ping things. I'm not sure I want to discard a card though. Twin Silk Spider seems great though. Makes 2 creatures. We need 3-drops. It works with the Good Fortune Unicorn. We already have a couple Knight of Old Benalias. We don't need a Trustworthy Scout. Let's just take the Twin Silk Spider. That seems great here. I think it's going to be better than Trustworthy Scout, even though we might wheel some Trustworthy Scouts. Unless Manticore just seems a little bit tricky and doesn't work that well against removal spells. I guess it does come back with Persist. But I think we just want to enable our Good Fortune Unicorns and our all of our synergy pieces. So we're just going to take the Spider here. And now we can pick up a Shelter. We can pick up another Knight of Old Benalia. They do get worse in multiples. I think we already have 2 of them. Let's just pick up a Shelter. Can protect our Good Fortune Unicorn or our Double Striker. Just gives us a lot of options. Wow, our deck is great. We have a couple of Tornadoes for the sideboard. We have 30 playables in the main deck. Ooh, another King of Pride. We now have 3 King of Prides with 3 regular cohorts. Wow, this is a great deck. There's a Force of Negation, but nobody wants that, obviously. Let's take another King of the Pride. I don't think we're going to need Lancer Sliver. We don't need a 4th Stirring Address. Etchings of the Chosen. Get +1/+1. We could actually choose Cat. We could splash this off of our Crozen Tusker. Unfortunately, this isn't the right color for the splashing. Treefolk Umbra. Yeah, that's not a card we want. Don't really want that one. Exalted is okay. Maybe we don't have any snow permanents. This card would be a splash card. Let's just take a Knight of Old Benalia. Give ourselves that option. Huh. We're not going to need to splash. Our deck is so powerful that it doesn't need to splash. I will say this deck seems very good to me. Got a Good Fortune Unicorn so late. We have 3 King of the Pride to go with our 3 irregular cohorts. Wow. I have high hopes for this deck. Though maybe it's just one of those formats where every deck is completely broken. Ooh, we picked up another shelter. Nice, nice. I don't think we want a Martyr's Soul. Just seems a little bit less than perfect. Like, not as powerful, maybe. Maybe we want another 2-drop. Target artifact or enchantment. I could see just wanting a 2-drop. Especially in the certain matchups. So let's just take the 2-drop. Rox Veteran came back? What the heck? We are the only white drafter. What? And Recruit the Worthy. And every white card just comes up. We're going to take Recruit the Worthy. And Trustworthy Scout. Oh my gosh. What is this madness? I guess we'll take that one. Wow. Our deck is broken. I think the Saddled Rhymes deck was a nice pickup. Okay. We're going to definitely keep this display window thing up the whole time because people don't know what all the cards do. So, group creatures separately. And let's make these as big as possible. So we're going to move this up here. Okay, so what do we not want? We have 36 main deck cards. These two are lands, so we're going to run them, but we're probably going to run 17 lands. We have Trustworthy Scout. We can run the 2 Trustworthy Scouts because we do want to have some early plays. Having 2 Trustworthy Scouts is a fine number. Saddled Rhyme Stag is okay. Let's see. We probably don't want all 4 Stirring Addresses. Let's only run 2 Stirring Addresses. I don't know if we need to recruit the Worthy. We kind of just have better things. I don't like Answered Prayers all that much. The only reason I'm like doubtful on that one is because it doesn't work with the Unicorn, and it doesn't work with my a lot of my stuff. I don't think we want 4 of these. Let's just run 2 Knight of Benalias because you don't want to have too many of those because they are kind of hard to cast later on. So we now have 4 Anthem things with those. Crows and Tusker is going to be good to get us up to our more expensive stuff, like making sure we hit our 4th land for these. I think Rox Veteran is going to be great in this deck. Settle Beyond Reality is interesting. I like the Savage Swipe because we have so many 2-powered creatures. Hex Drinker is going to be great. Enduring Sliver is going to be great. I think we need to have the 2-drops just because I like Shelter. Talisman's nice to ramp us up to our 4-drops. I think Answered Prayers is going to get the axe. It just slightly weak. Like, this is just a very synergy built deck, and it doesn't make 2 cards. This is basically a creature. We're going to put it up with the creatures. So everything that makes 2 cards is staying. We have 2 Valiant Changelings, which work beautifully with King of the Prides. And I think we want to keep this central synergy of King of the Pride and Cohort and Valiant Changeling. The King of the Prides also pump each other, so they're good in multiples too. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We actually have 21 creatures up there. That's just so many creatures. Maybe Knight of Benalia is just our weakest card, and so we don't need it. It's debatable whether or not that or Stirring Address is better. We'll have to test things out. We'll probably switch out the configuration so you get to see as many different cards as possible. Shelter's very good, but might just not be what this deck wants. This deck doesn't really have any super crucial creatures, so I could see just cutting the Shelters entirely. Because we'd rather have cards like Stirring Address. Because we don't have any, one card that we have to protect because we make multiple cards. I guess Good Fortune Unicorn is good to protect, but that's one card. Maybe we aren't a Talisman of Conviction deck, though. The ramp seems so nice to get these cards rolling a little bit early. Maybe we don't want to Recruit the Worthy. That card seems a bit slow to me. It seems like if you're in a spot where you have to be using the Recruit the Worthy, you're just going to lose to a flyer before it becomes relevant. Okay, Savage Swipe seems good as a removal spell. Hex Drinker seems great. The 2 Trustworthy Scouts seem alright. I don't know if we even want Settle Beyond Reality, but I think having an answer to some creatures is good. Like having 1 answer. I guess we have Savage Swipe. I'm just going to cut the Settle Beyond Reality. Actually, it's such a good combo with the Cohort too. It makes another creature too. 5 mana, make a 2/2. And Exile Guy just seems great. And maybe get an extra counter. And maybe another guy there. So we are going to run that. Jeez, this is tricky. We're not cutting any of these guys. These guys are all staying. Maybe Valiant Changeling just doesn't fit our... No, it's so good with our stuff, though. Is Twin Silk Spider just weaker? Crows and Tusker is just a ton of value. Getting a land and drawing for 3 mana is so good. Because the ramp goes with like Hex Drinker and stuff, too. Jeez. This is such a tricky deck to build. Maybe we only want 1 Stirring Address. And then we run the Talisman instead of a land. Because we also have the Crows and Tusker to help us find lands. I feel like we have good mana sinks, though, so we don't really need to worry. This is kind of more like a spell. Maybe we only want 1 Changeling, because it can be hard. If we just have one of these... Yeah. Let's just cut one of these. That seems like madness to me, but I think we really do want 1 Stirring Address in this deck as just a way to win the game. And the Talisman seems good as well. Crows and Tusker is just a very good card on its own, and make sure that we have like just objectively powerful things to do. King of the Pride. Oh man, I really just want to run these. Is that just madness? I think it might be just madness, but we're going to try it, I think. I mean, our Trustworthy Scouts are our worst cards, but we need to have them, I think. We have so many 4-drops, but... Wow, we need to be able to get to 4 mana. Twin Silk Spider is probably our worst card. Let's cut the Twin Silk Spider. Yeah, I like this. Because we don't have... Since we cut most of our Stirring Addresses in Night of Old Benalias, in order to focus on our King of the Prides and stuff. Yep, let's just try it like this. Okay, we definitely have more whites than greens, but we do have a couple double greens, and this also makes white. So let's just go 9-8. Actually, 10-7 maybe. Now we need to have double of both. And this does make a white mana. So let's just play the Talisman here. And let's see how the deck ends up running. We'll definitely be making a lot of changes as things go on. Also, I really like this new like Magic Online thing. It looks cool. Yeah, this deck is great. And let's see how it performs. We're going to keep this card thing up so that you can know what the cards do, because that is sometimes tricky. Okie doke. This hand seems excellent. We got our 2-drop. We've got the Rhyme Stag. Perfect. Oh man, we got the cards even bigger. Perfect. Because I know the cards are new, so people don't know what all the cards do, and Magic Online is not great at showing you what all the cards do. So he's got Fairies here. That's a pretty solid 1-drop. I'm a little bit worried. I think in powerful formats like this, you want to be doing your own game plan and making your own game plan strong, rather than trying to necessarily always stop your opponent's game plan. That's why I'm a little bit like not even like sure that I should be running these like removal spells and stuff. So our mana is looking good this hand. We're going to be trying to get the Rhyme Stag out as soon as possible, and then get a Cohort down, and then we can get a Force of Virtue. Oh dear, this could be a disaster. Ninjutsu, please no. Oh, thank goodness. Another Fairies here. Actually, it doesn't really matter where they scry. It doesn't affect our game plan at all. Okie doke. We will draw. Oh man, 2 lands was not what we wanted, but we're still fine. We still got a lot of stuff to do, and our Rhyme Stag is good. If we draw a 3-drop this next turn, we're going to be in good shape. That was one of the other reasons I cut the 3/3, the 3-mana enchantment, was because the Rhyme Stag makes me want to ooh, nice. Makes me want to have a lot of things that trigger it. Boom, Knight of the Pride. Let's go. King of the Pride. Sorry, why would that be a knight? It's almost as if it pumps up the rhyme stag. This guy is, of course, the one that makes my cats buff, but it works with the cohort quite well. The cohort is going to be huge here. No blockers, buddy. We're definitely going to win races because our cohort is going to be so big. Yikes, I'm terrified. Oh no! Okay. I really wish we'd drawn a white spell there so we could just get this thing into play too. It's definitely worth waiting on and not attacking with the Knight King of the Pride here because it's going to make our changeling guy so huge. Because we now have like so much power in play. Onerophage. We have to be wary of the 4 mana, draw 3, discard 1. I forget exactly what it's called, but this thing could really wreck my opponent. He's not going to know it's coming, so. Yep, that's the one. Reign of Revelation. My opponent might just go for it here. I hope this thing doesn't get another draw 3, discard 1. Oh, we have not drawn well this game. I mean, I guess we drew this thing up for turn 3, but my opponent might just block one thing. So this is going to be 6-7. So this is going to be 1 point short unless he has to draw a spell, which he could very easily have, or an ninjutsu card. So I don't have high hopes here. We have a very good sideboard card for this matchup. We have 2 copies of Thorn Storm, or whatever it's called. Ah, no, don't have a draw. Of course, this is terrifying. Oh, he has it. Oh, man, he got me. Well, that was game. But we have good options here. We have Twin Silk Spider. We have Thorn Nado. Oh my gosh, I forgot to put in my Tranquil Thicket. No! That would have been nice to draw. We're going to put in our planes too. Whoops. Sorry about that. So, what do we want in this matchup? The Knight of Bulbinalias seem a little bit slow. He didn't really show us a ton of removal, so Shelter's not necessarily useful. It's not a slow matchup, so Recruit the Worthy's not great. Defender and Flying. That could be nice. Wow, I can't believe I didn't put in my Tranquil Thicket. That's so sad. So we are going to cut 3 cards. Let's just cut our Valiant Changelings and our Rocks Veteran. His creatures just seem smaller than mine. Maybe we cut our Crows and Tusker. Yeah, let's cut the Crows and Tusker. Okay, perfect. We would like to play first. Hopefully we have a good draw. We have a very good draw. It's actually kind of tricky to think about what I'm supposed to play in this draw, but lots of options. I think we want to lead with the Saddled Rhyme Stag into the Trustworthy Scout and just leave the Talisman of Conviction for the future. Opponent's deck seems pretty good. We just want to keep enabling the Rhyme Stag as much as possible. It's just such a terrifying card. It can get in for like 6 or 8 damage, I think. Unfortunately, we drew another Plains. We still can't even cast that. The Plains was probably our worst possible draw. Whew, every time they do that, I'm just worried they have the really good uncommon. Ooh. So here we are just going to go Talisman and Trustworthy Scout, because we want to make sure that we get that going every turn. And there's also just a very good mana play. But Hexdrinker is a good draw. Because now next turn we can play Hexdrinker and level it up 3 times to give it protection from instants, which is a lot of the removal. And the next turn we can level it up a bunch of times and have it as a 6/6 that has protection from everything. I don't think we want to block that. It's just bad value, even though we can get a guy back. Shinobi. 1/1 blue illusion with flying. Yikes. And my opponent's going to get to scry some more. Okay, another forest is not ideal. But it actually does let us cast Trumpeting Herd, which should be good. I guess our Red Splash was actually even easier, so we could have maybe considered that a little more. I think getting the Trumpeting Herd out now is better than getting the Hexdrinker out now. Because that also guarantees this thing goes off next turn. And this thing can block his 3/2. This illusion. Illusion's not great to ninjutsu with, because then you lose the illusion for good. I'm definitely terrified of my opponent's deck. It might be that my 5-mana removal spell is just too slow for this matchup. Next turn I'm hitting my opponent for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I can draw one of my Anthem effects. I guess my Lions don't really do much in this spot. Maybe Lion's just too cute, but it is a fine 3-drop. I think I'll cut a Lion for the spider thing maybe going forward, and maybe I don't know, they kind of did what they were supposed to do in the first round. Maybe if I cut the Changeling Double Striker, I cut some Lions. That seems like a solid play. Oh, Gluttonous Slug. My Hexdrinker is going to be unbelievable. Let's just block there. Perfect. Let's see what we draw. Please draw something good. I need to close the door 1 second. Okay, I have now got my Trumpeting Herd. Oh, yes, that's what I like to see. So go to combat. Attack for 4. This thing will just get blanked by the 0/3. Never want to just give your opponent the option of blocking or something. And then we will play our land, Hexdrinker. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cohort. And level up our Hexdrinker. So we can level this up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So, not the greatest. We are pretty wide here. And if we draw any of our like big like pump spells, like now the Knight of the Pride would be excellent. We just need to draw a creature next turn. Okay, this is our opportunity. This is our window. Boom! That is what I'm talking about. We're definitely casting this, which triggers that. Level this up. We have to be aware that he could cycle a card and make this a little bit bigger. This is now a 4/4. The only thing off to the side is a changeling. No worries. This is the farthest right card on my board. I guess I can move this down. Okay, so then we're just going to go to combat. If we attack with the 4/4, so this thing could be very scary next turn, but we're going to probably just attack with our 4/4 here. He has some okay blocks, but not great blocks. Probably going to attack with this 4/4 as well. And these guys will all attack next turn. So this could be for 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think we got this. Because the Rocks Veteran can be a very, very good attacker. 2 chump blocks. Nice. And now this next turn, the Rocks Veteran is going to be great. This thing's going to have protection from everything. It's going to get in like a guaranteed 7. Battle is all about where you stand. Never stand in my way. Nice. Whew. Whew. So let's see. If my opponent draws 3, this thing will go up to 5. This will be 6, 7. Yeah. This card beat me last game, so kind of scary. Okay, let's see what happens. Ooh, Unearth. Okay. I love this Hex Drinker. Okay, just hitting me for 1. Maybe he's got a ninjutsu to ninja in. He could have the 6/3. So we're just going to level this up a bunch of times if we don't draw anything relevant, which we don't. So let's level this up. Level. 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 So now this thing's going to get in for 7 guaranteed. Tap this big guy. Boom, we go to game 3. I'm going to cut the 5-mana removal spell on the draw. Settle Beyond Reality seems too slow for this matchup. Recruit the Worthy also seems too... Like, sure, it can kill his big 4-drop, but he just has way too many ninjas for me to be confident in this. I kind of want Wall of 1,000 cuts, but I don't know if that's good enough. The Knight suspend 5 is just so much to spend. Like, the games are ending by that point. Answered Prayer is interesting, but it doesn't work with our Saddled Dreamstag, which is like our best card. I might just add another Stirring Address. Crows and Tusker is good. See Beyond Reality is good. We have a lot of good stuff here. I kind of want to cut a Knight of the Pride. King of the Pride, I mean. So I'm going to cut the King of the Pride. Let's just add Crows and Tusker and see Beyond Reality. I think that the Valiant Changelings are going to be better in matchups that are about the ground, where I can just stall them out and then win later on with maybe those plus a Shelter. Stirring Address doesn't seem like it's going to get kicked very often here. Let's just see how this goes. We've drawn Saddle Dreamstag every time, which has been great. We're definitely keeping this hand. Definitely keeping this hand. We're on the draw, but we have Rimstag into Twin Spider into Cohort. And Twin Silk Spider is great in this matchup. It's one of our better cards. It's a sideboard card that's going to be key. Because he has so many of those 1-mana scratches. Ooh, he doesn't have one this time around. And we can actually use this card to get Force of Virtue into play, I guess. Depending on how many lands we draw. I'm going to scribe that to the top. Interesting. Whoa. Oh, come on. I just need a third land. Come on, folks. Come on, deck. I just need the Twin Silk Spider. Let's see if they scried. They scried 2 to the bottom, which means they maybe just missed their land. And they have scried a bunch of cards, and if they still miss, that's really good for us. Land me. Well, we're also missing lands, but at least we hit a creature. And we're definitely going to get this Force of Virtue into play on his end step. We're going to exile our Settle Beyond Reality, because that's going to be hard to cast. Boom. Twin Silk Spider. Twin Silk Spider just adds the most power to the board immediately. And the reach is nice for if he was going to have a ninjutsu card. Crows and Tusker is also an argument, but I just want to add 4 power to the board and make this thing into bigger. So this thing can find us a land for next turn. Boom! And we got the W. That's good. Let's go. Let's edit our deck here. Now that we know more about what we want to be doing. I think that last configuration we had was the best one. So let's cut 2 Valiant Changelings, 2 King of the Prides. We definitely want to add our Snow-Covered Plains and our Tranquil Thicket, because that was just an error not running those. And I think, so these are the cards that we've considered cutting. The Valiant Changeling. The Twin Silk Spider seemed good, so we're going to add that. And then we'll consider adding back in King of the Pride and Valiant Changelings in some numbers. Knight of Old Benalia just seems really slow. Answer Prayers doesn't trigger our Rimstag or our Good Fortune Unicorn, so I don't think it's as good as other options. I don't think we need another Stirring Address. I think 1 is fine. Recruit the Worthy's more of a sideboard card for slow matchups. Shelter, similar vein, because we just want to have as many creatures as we can. So let's add 2 Valiant Changelings and 1 King of the Pride. I think Twin Silk Spider is better than the 3rd King of the Pride. Yeah, let's try it like this. Definitely trying to make changes, learn from my mistakes. I'm not sure how good the double strikers are. I just really want to get one into play so I can test it for myself. Well, we have some stuff in his hand. I think it's a keep. On the draw. We're just going to keep it. We have some decent ways to use our mana. I just don't want to like get wrecked by a mulligan when I don't have to, and we drew one of our better cards, a 5-mana removal spell. And this hand is really coming together. The Sliver was a great draw. It gives us a great mana sink, especially if we draw one of our Changelings 4-drops. Prohibit. No! Well, Such is life. Enduring Sliver bites the dust. Ooh, a snow-covered swamp. Yikes, that card's good. That card is very good. It's just when it leaves play, right? Yeah. So we're playing against blue-black ninjutsu again. Presumably. We're just going to cast our King of the Pride. We want to get this guy into play on the same turn that we can level him up to get protection from instants and become a 4/4. Because then we can just ride him to victory. We're just going to take it. He could have an ninjutsu card, but we don't want him to like trade off our guy because we'll just attack him back. Whoa, I'm glad. Actually, that's really bad because we can't kill that. At least not really effectively. Draw 2, then discard 3. So that's card disadvantage. Ooh, that was a perfect draw. And the next turn we can settle beyond reality on his Bizarre Trader, Trade Mage. I guess this is just a pretty big creature, 3 mana, 3/4. With downside, it's kind of like a callback to some cards I've seen before. We're going to just definitely settle it next turn. Sure. Well, if he taps out. If he doesn't tap out, we're just going to do our own thing. Omniphage. Okay, that's going to have to go, but first we're going to have to kill this thing. Actually, let's kill this thing first. So let's play... Give a creature +2/+2. Then it fights, so this will be a 4/3. This can't really grow that big, so... This also just gives us a nice little attack sequence because we can play this, level it up 3 times, attack with these two. Then settle beyond reality this next turn. Let's attack with these two. Don't want to risk our Knight of the King of the Pride or whatever it's called. This 2-card combo is really good. Now we will level this up. Level this up. Guess if you want to see my phases, there where they are. So that was really good. This card is insane. 4 mana, 4/4 that can't be targeted by instants. This is essentially what this is at its base level. And then you can pay 5 more mana to make it a 6/6 that can't be blocked, can't be killed, pretty much. We might just do that next turn. I'm suspicious. 5 mana up. Let's just do a very simple attack. They could just kill the lion. Hmm. Interesting. Hmm. I'm just suspicious of them having 5 mana, but they might just not have anything. Like, I didn't want to spend all my mana upgrading this. I guess that, wow, that was really bad. It has protection from instants, so I couldn't be targeted by anything anyway. I guess that you live and you learn. It is a mythic rare after all, but this is a sick card. If he passes turn back to me, I'm just going for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play this thing. Attack for lethal. Okay, so we know that he has Prohibit. Couple of, what's this do? Whoa, that's sweet. We don't have any enchantments, so we're not bringing any in for sure. Same with artifacts. He has Bizarre Trade Mage. Onerophage, okay. So we're definitely going to bring in our anti-flyer cards, because once you see a couple flyers, you can just bring these in very easily, because they are anti-flyer for a reason. Because they have cycling, so you can just get rid of them if they don't draw the flyer. Recruit the Worthy doesn't seem as good. Stirring Address seems, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what my opponent's up to. Don't want Answered Prayers, that's for sure, because I don't want to give that one card a target. Knight of Ulbanalia, just suspend 5 is okay. It's like an okay card, but it's just, I think I have so many good cards that it's not worth it. Against blue black. So I'm bringing in those two. What am I cutting? Let's cut a Crozen Tusker and a Valiant Changeling. And this hand is excellent. It's perfect 2, 3, 4 curve, and then we just need to pay off for all of our stuff. Excellent hand. Another Fairy Seer. Wow, that's another great draw. He could have Prohibit up. But when am I going to cast the Enduring Sliver anyway? Like, if he does have Prohibit, he counters it, sure. But, I'm, like, not going to be, like, casting it anytime soon if I do hold it up. If he doesn't have Prohibit, it's nice to get a 2-drop into play. Wow, he was holding up. He held off from casting a Talisman. Maybe I should have just not gone for it. I didn't know he was mana screwed. If he was mana screwed, you never really go for that. I guess he did hit it. He didn't hit a land drop last turn. Omniphage. Yikes. Terrifying. This card is scary. See ya. On Nerophage. Well, I'm glad he's attacking with it. That gives me some options to attack as well. Maybe we should have attacked with an extra twin silk spider, or maybe both twin silk spiders. I cannot play 2 blue. We have a couple ways to deal. We have one way to deal with this. Whoa! Brutal. Well, let's hope we draw our 5-mana removal spell. I guess in Trustworthy Scout we trust. That could have been a sweet combat trick too. Watch her for tomorrow. Unfortunately, just flooding out in this game a little bit. We could still snatch this game out. 3, 7, 11, 13. Maybe we should have attacked more aggressively there so that we could potentially just rip a 6-mana, the card that has Overload that wins us the game on the spot if they don't block. They're just attacking with their own Aerophage. That makes sense. Oh, come on. No, their last card's a good spell. Oh, yikes. If that's game. Actually, that's not game. We have chump blockers. And then we have the out of drawing the... we're not going to chump with both because we want to be able to draw the 5-mana, exile a creature, and flicker one of our guys. It would be silly to concede here. Get another elephant. Man, that's actually kind of close to not having us die. So this has to block here. We'll hold this back to... So this has... Okay. 3, 4... So 4, 7, 9, 10, 11. Let's just hope he blocks with his Watcher. He presumably has a spell under the Watcher. Dang, we need him to block with this. Because now he gets to just attack for lethal with the Fairy Seer. Combined with the Wind Caller. Almost got there. If we'd drawn this a turn earlier, maybe we could have got there. Boom. Okay. We didn't draw any of our anti-flyer stuff. I guess we had 2 tornadoes that would also have just won us the game there. Okay, I'm not worried anymore. I remember those cards. Valiant Changeling doesn't seem as useful. Wall of 1,000 cuts. It's just so expensive. Stirring Address, Recruit the Worthy, Shelter. Yeah, let's just run it like this. Maybe we want to cut this guy. But he hits like a truck, so we'll keep him. And we have a sketchy hand. But I think a keep. We have 2 castable spells, 2 uncastable spells. But if we hit a forest by turn like 4, Fairy Seer is kind of annoying on turn 1, I must say. I think this hand is a keep, though. Twin Silk Spider is good in the matchup. The Stirring Address could be clutch. All we need is 1 forest. We have 8 forests in the deck. So, decent odds to hit one by like the 4th turn of the game. And that's a really good draw anyway, too. Gonna get the King of the Pride down and then a regular cohort down. We've been making drawing some white cards, which is also good. So now we just need any land to cast a regular cohort and have 10 power in play. Sword of Truth and Justice. Oh, yikes. Land me. Well, that was a catastrophe. Kept a 3-lander, drew a couple spells, but not any lands, so... Yikes. This is a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. He's just getting all the value. I guess he just has 1 threat, so if I can just rip a land right here, right now, 1 time. Come on, deck. You know you want to give me this. Gosh, darn it. Oh, that's so brutal. Since we have to draw a land next turn in order to be in the game, we're just going to cast our spell here. Because if we don't draw a land, we lose anyway, and then we're never going to have time to cast this. Sure, they countered it. Oh my gosh. I'm actually glad he countered it. The fact that that traded for a card from his hand is so good. I guess we have to use to jump this if we ever draw a forest. Oh man, we just need a land to get our cohorts down because that's an extra 8 power. We're going to hit for 5 and then 7. So we have 3 turns unless he draws another spell. That's a flyer, which he gets a lot of. Rank Officer. Definitely an irritating one. Come on, deck. Give me a land. Or just give me the card that destroys a land. I mean, destroys a creature. A flyer. Actually, I can't cast that one, so don't give me that one. The Changeling is colorless, luckily. So you can't just equip the sword to this thing or something like that. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Well, that sucks. Brutal. We could have very easily won that one. The opening hand, I will admit, was a little bit sketchy in some ways, because we didn't have all the cards we needed. We didn't have any forests, but then we drew all white cards, which like was perfect, and then we just didn't draw a land or a talisman or anything. So I'd say that's a little bit unlucky, but it happens. And we are going to cut a Valiant Changeling. Actually, no. I think Valiant Changeling is fine in the main deck because we've just been bringing in these Tornadoes a lot. Dang it. I really would have liked to get a nice little 3-0 to start things off, but you know, you can't always get exactly what you need. And, whoa. Oh, there it is, the Tranquil Thicket. I was like, where's the Tranquil Thicket? Yeah, that was a little sad. Game 2, we just needed to draw one of our several outs. Like, we just needed to draw a Tornado at any point that game. We would have won the second game. And then game 3, we just needed to draw, like, a forest before turn 10. Or even a plains on that one turn. Rats. I feel like we actually have a very good matchup against Flyers decks because of our Tornadoes. Do we want to run the third King of the Pride? Probably not. Yikes. Sad day. We won the die roll, yes. And we have a keeper on our hands. Jeez, we have this Good Fortune Unicorn to play on turn 3. I like it. Good Fortune Unicorn is a house on turn 3. Ooh, Changeling. Haha! A 2-drop. We're just going to play this now because we're going to hopefully just keep drawing lands, so we don't want to like save it for after the Unicorn. Ooh, white-black Changelings. Hopefully we hit a land drop next turn so we can go King of the Pride and Hexdrinker. Ooh, nice. We don't have any removal for the Knight of the Pride, so we'll just block here. Land me. I kind of just want to use the Savage Swipe here to kill this Dregscape Sliver. I'm going to do it. Leveled up and not attacking. Because it just seems annoying to have to deal with all those things coming back. I would level land so I can cast my own rocks thing. Heck yes. That is going to be nice. Especially if I can draw this Settle Beyond Reality to kill his like 2/4. Irregular Cohort. Nice little synergy. This is a 5/5 now, so if we attack, tap this, not worth it. Next turn it will be, though, because next turn we will settle beyond reality, flicker this thing to get this thing big. Now he has 2 goblins. Never fear, those goblins are not changelings. He has 2 goblins over here. Oh my gosh, I just wanted to land. Currently has 3, so we couldn't even make it up to 8 if we wanted to. Yes. We will get a snow-covered plains. We drew a plains. So we will use... Actually, do we want to just activate this? No, I think we want to use this. Because then next turn we can activate this 3 times. No. We can just do it all in 1 turn. Just get another scout. Oh, I guess we could have done that at any speed. We want to get the value before we accidentally draw our trustworthy scout. Not like that is something we would do on purpose, but... Oh, yikes. That's terrifying. Especially because he gets to tap one of my guys. Five, 10, 14, 17, 20. Yikes, he tapped my snake. Then we take 12. I think that's the best block. Give me my own changeling guy, please. Rats. Knight of the Pride. Let's level this guy up a little bit. One has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 creatures, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures. So I have 5 blockers if he attacks all out, so I can just block the 4 biggest. And I would live. If the 4 smallest got through, I would still live. We need to wait. We have such a bigger board than him that as soon as we can kill this thing next turn and make this have protection from everything, we're gonna win. Oh, right, I forgot that this thing gave battle cry. Whoops. That was horrible math. I should have just killed this. Well, I'm sorry about that. That was horrible math. Do 1 here, 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 here. So these are initial blocks. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a bit too big. 7, 8 is the smallest. Five, 5, 4, 4, 5. Yeah, we die. no matter what we do, because I'm bad. Oh, man. I don't think I did my math wrong. Rats! Oh my goodness, that was so bad. Jeez, that was horrible. He doesn't look like he has any removal. Kind of want this King of the Pride over the Settle Beyond Reality. He doesn't look like he has any high priority things to kill. Well, we're going to mulligan this hand. It doesn't have both our colors, and now we have to mulligan to 5. Dang it, that last game, if I just used my removal spell, I think we would have won. If I just killed the 2/4. Shoot! Because that thing was just a... Yeah, I didn't know what the card did. I forgot I had Battle Cry. Dang it. Well, you live and you learn. I'm hoping my opponent mulligans because I don't want to have to go to 5 against a full-powered hand. I'm gonna put that on the bottom. Maybe Rhyme Stack can get us there, but I doubt it. I think the card we're looking for is the 2/1. The little snake thing. Well, if we draw a land, we have these elephants coming down to help us out. If we don't draw a land, we're in trouble. Sure. Come on, elephants. Yes! And maybe I'm gonna put my opponent misses a land. And then we can just get Trustworthy Scout back, make this into a big thing again. He doesn't have double white for his own 2/2s. We're not blocking. We're full on aggro here. Brock's Veteran, sure. Okay, so this costs 2 less because it is a... We have a elk and a elephant, so this costs 5 mana. Perfect. This is instant. Perfect. And then we'll get that back. Use that to fuel this. Boom! We got the win on the mold of 5. That's what I'm talking about. Never surrender. Never surrender. Yes. Yes. Ooh, baby. Stirring Address actually seems like a house in this matchup. Complete board breaker. We're going to cut Crows and Tusker and a Valiant Changeling. He's just going to be able to chump the Changelings all day long. So we're going to cut the Changelings for 2 more Stirring Addresses. Submit. Okay, this is a keeper. This is a keeper. And the opponent's mulliganing this time. Oh my goodness. This could be an improbable victory for the good guys. Ooh, he's on a mull to 6. And he's playing a very low impact card that we'll be able to punish. Oh, and there's our land. Oh, we are in business. We're cooking with fire, boys. Maybe the first game I could have won if I'd not used my Savage Swipe the way I did. Just realized that one as well. We are cooking with fire. Oh, this is incredible. We're going to be able to overload this thing, and it's just going to win us the game. Yeah, we just have to kill the King of the Pride. Let's just play that card first. And then we could technically kick back, like flash this in if we really needed it. Sure. So then we can block here and double block here. Here comes my other elephant. Los Elefante. Let's cycle this. So I think we're willing to trade off this spider for a... Oh no, it gets 2+2+2. Perfect. Oh man, we got this. The spider being a 2/3 was so clutch. This thing can get 2 counters. Okay, slivers have outlast 2. Sure, that's fine by me. Here comes our big attack. Oh, yes. Attack with everything, I think. We're actually going to kill the king. Because if he outlasts his creatures, he dies. We have 4 lethal threats. He has 1 card in hand. This card can activate only at sorcery. We're not going to play into a wing shard or whatever, shard volley. Okay, he kills that. Still 3 lethal attackers. Boom! And we get the win! Let's go! The comeback victory! Hype! I am so happy we won that game. That was sweet! Oh my goodness. I cannot believe we ended up winning. We mulled to 5, showed some resilience. This was the deck for anyone that is curious. Wow, that was awesome. So hyped. So unbelievably hyped. Anyway, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, say hashtag hashtag comeback victory in the comment section down below, because I really thought we were out of that one, and then we came back in match 3, won it. So hashtag comeback victory, or you can say hashtag yeah, just hashtag comeback victory in the comment section down below if you made it all the way to the end. Also, if you made it all the way to the end, that probably means that you're one of my more dedicated viewers. And if you would like to consider supporting the channel over on Patreon, Patreon is a way for people to give back to the creators that they enjoy content from the most. And it is really appreciated if you do give back to the channel, because making these videos can be very time consuming and expensive, and I really do appreciate everyone who gives back in that way. But also consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment if you have any questions. But that is going to do it. Let me know if you want to see more Modern Horizons. It was really awesome, and I will talk to you next time.